Welcome, everybody. Happy birthday, happy anniversary, and thank the nurses. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. God bless you. God loves you. And I want to thank you all that has subscribed. Give me the thumbs up. Hello, Yoakum. And no, I ain't got my socks on yet because I just got out of the bathtub after soaking and shaving, make me good looking. But thank you all. And it started raining today about 11:30. My backyard got quite a bit of water in it, and I'm getting sick and tired of rain, people. It's bad as snow, and they got a few flood watchers out in the area. And I didn't make a text to my friend on that zero turn, and I've learned. I know him over 50 years, and if he's sick, when he gets better, he will text me. So that's how everything's going, and it's not supposed to rain tomorrow or Thursday. Supposed to, but they can change it any time. And these weather people, I begin to hate them. And that they used to be wrong on the weather. And the past 2, 3 weeks, they haven't been wrong on the weather. But I remember back in, what was it, 98, 78, somewhere like that. The weather people, hello, Alexi. Hello, pretty girl. Where's the rest of the kitty cat? Where's your mama? Where's your mama? And they said we was going to get snow flurries back there then. Boy, they missed it by a mile. We got 3 foot of snow, snow drifts. You couldn't go nowhere. The county and state departments and cities couldn't get out and clean the snow. They had to use bulldozers that got the bucket on it. Hello, Jason. Welcome. They had to use the tractors with the buckets on it and dump the snow. What? Huh? What you doing, Lexi? Where's your mama, Alex? Where's your grandma, Margaret? Where's your aunt, Kathy? Huh? Where's your aunt, Wildcat? Huh? Can you go get the rest of them? You wait until I go to sleep and all your kitty cats comes in here and sleeps with me after I go to sleep. People, when I wake up, I try to sleep until 9, 10 o'clock if I can. And I got all of them. I got all 5 kitty cats in here. Kathy is the orange cat. I keep saying yellow, but orange. And she attacked me on the face. Try to get me wake up. I just played possum. If that don't work, then she comes out with her razor blade. Kitty cat, their toenails can cut you. I got a scratch right here where one of them got me a couple hours ago. Comes to run and they don't look to see where I'm at. They just jump, and that's what happened. I got scratches on my legs, my thighs. I got them everywhere. You think I'm getting abused? Ain't that right? But I talked a little bit last night about you women who's pregnant. Maybe has dogs or cats or horses. You know, let them touch your belly, smell your belly. Explain to them, ladies, that you're gonna have a baby. Animals is very smart. We don't give them the credit. Thank you, Pol Poland Poland fan ring Orange. And animals is smart. And if you got a dog, ladies, that dog will be right there next to you, close to your belly, might lay the head on your belly. And maybe won't let your husband get in bed. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Help me get my watch hours up too. And any animal that grows up with baby, they will protect them. No matter what kind of pet you have, if it's a dog, cat, horse, they will protect your babies, you know, because you're pregnant. Don't, pay attention to your animals, because they feel like they're left out. Involve them into through when you're pregnant. And there's videos of ladies letting their baby get next to the belly. They explain to the dog or cat or horse, you know, that you're pregnant. But you gotta give credit where it's due. And and after the baby's born, introduce the baby to the pets. You know, if it's a cat or a dog, maybe the dog will sleep next to the bed or let you know if there's something wrong with the baby while you're sleeping. You know, animals, they're, they're pretty good. Even the mommy doggies and the kitty cat. Hello, you know, animals, they will protect you. Hi there, Sophie. I want to say Sophie. Thank you for stopping by tonight. I know a lady. She's a grandma, and she has some cats, and the cat always used the cat box. You know, they stopped paying attention to the cat, and the cat went over by the door and used the bathroom. When she told me that, I said, "There's some something changed." Are you paying attention to the cat since your daughter? Hello, Scotty. I like a Kia. It's one thing Kia don't sell here in the United States. Kia makes a pickup truck. You can type Kia pickup truck into YouTube and you find the Kia pickup truck. But you won't find Kia pickup trucks in the USA. I don't know why. And I would get a Kia pickup truck, but maybe it's something that won't pass the United States inspection because I've never seen a Kia pickup truck. So I typed it in to YouTube and Google and found that they do got a Kia pickup truck. I like Kia. I'll tell you a secret. Back when the Kia Soul came out, I had a friend, he's dead now. He bought a Kia Soul and it was white. And he went to get full coverage insurance on it. It was a whole lot cheaper than the car he had before because all the airbags and stuff like that. So, you know, that's pretty good. I like Kia, but they're kind of cheap. You know, they was years ago. I don't know how much they cost now, but I like Kia. I wish they would sell pickup trucks here in the United States. And if I could, I'd buy a Kia pickup truck, a standard transmission. But there must be a reason why Kia don't sell Kia pickup trucks in the USA. I don't know why, but I like Kia. I was gonna buy one. I wanted a standard transmission. Hello there, welcome back. Let's don't start that. We have done that the last 2 nights. I'm not gonna tell you again. And I bought a Kia car. I forget what type it was, a standard transmission. Made my, signed the paperwork and come back after, I guess, Labor Day or something. Thanks to my blankety blank brother, told him not to sell it to me. And I went back that day after, insurance and all this, and I lost out. And it would have paid off. My brother lied to him. If you're going to buy you a vehicle, people, don't tell anybody until after you sign it and driving it home, get insurance on it, then you can tell your family. Because I don't know if they get jealous or what. And Kia's a good vehicle. But I was going to cut some grass today, but I can't. It's wet, waterlogged. Like I said, you young people is very smart out there. I give you credit where it's due. Your any yard when it rains, it can only hold so much water. It take To dry my yard out, it takes 2 to 3 days of temperature up in the 80s for it to really get dry. So, but it ain't gonna get up to the 80s in the next couple of days. There was another day it's supposed to rain, maybe Thursday, but I hope it don't rain. I'm praying to God it don't rain because I gotta cut my grass. It's done too tall. And if I lived in the HOA, they then got on me, and I would have to kill them HOA people because there's no way I would put up with HOA. And I wouldn't even live in the HOA. What color I can paint my front door, flagpole, American flag. Uh-uh. I'm not gonna do that. HOA might be good, but they're to me they're crooks. Well, people, I just saw scrolling across my screen. It's it's called Turning Point Tonight. That black guy is in Congress. What what was his name? Green. He got beat in the primary. Florida judge rejects effort to have new GOP House map. And a guy named Clarence Jones, the ACLU, died at 95. If you all know who he is, I don't. But people, we got to do something about the gasoline prices. You all said, what can we do to help out? Well, you can write your congressman, your senator, your governor, the president. Be nice, be polite. I see you back again in Louisville. Be nice. Said they keep raising gas prices, grocery prices, everything else. Said mom and dad having a hard time making mince meat. Be honest with them. They take your younger people. You're the future. You're the future of your grandkids, your grandparents, your dad and mom. You're their future. And they blaming the war in Iran for high prices of gasoline. I've been told, and we buying our oil from other countries. Our refinery is set up to do the oil from other country. I guess it's thicker. I'm never been on the oil rig, but the oil we have here in the United States, I guess it's thinner, and we have to send our oil to other countries for them to process it and send us the gasoline back to the United States. Does that make sense? No, it don't. Because it's up to you younger people. When I was young, you used to take $50 to the, say, 1970, in that time frame, 60s and 70s, maybe early 80s. You take $50 to the grocery store. You either need a pickup truck, SUV, or a car with a big trunk in it to put your $50 of groceries. Today, in 2026, $50 could be one bag of groceries. That's how come houses cost so much. Or TVs, or computers, cell phones. They have to pay the price for gasoline and diesel fuel for the 18 wheelers to deliver everything. I know your young people is very smart, and I'm just, you know, you can write your congressmen and your senators, your governors, president, but you be real nice. Don't be hateful. Cause being nice get you a whole lot more. If you're threatening somebody, this or that, you get in trouble. Oh, Alexi, going night night, aren't you, Alexi? Let's see if I can turn it down and over. See, there's Alexi. She's sleeping, and so just be good people. Be polite. Stay in school. Get your education. Wait until you're 25 to 28 to start a family. Don't don't have babies at 12, 13 years old, 'cause then you won't be able to go to college. I've seen it when I was growing up. Kids 12 and 13 years old was having babies, and they still a baby. And because I know your younger people wants to go to college or a trade school. And I know how boys are. Your dad is a boy. He was your age. Boys like to say, "Oh, you won't get pregnant the first time." People, ladies, don't believe it. There's other girls that got pregnant the first time they played house, and their lives got messed up. They couldn't go to college. Who's gonna watch the babies while they go to college? Just think about it, young ladies. You know, I saw that while I was growing up. Now, if you're in school, at least around my area, you can take your baby to school with you. I think they got a class that the babies will stay in. That you have your class in there with your babies. But I don't know if it's in all 50 states or not. Yeah, that's Congress Green. He's that black guy that you saw during Trump when he gave his speech to the Congress. He always get thrown out. He got beat by another Democrat. And but people, I don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican, or independent, right, left, or whatever. You stand up. You know, you saw people who got shot down or got abused or the husband got murdered. Democrats didn't stand up. But they forget they work for us. They get paid about $175,000 a year. But when they filed the taxes, they done made $1 million the first year. So what's that tell you? You know, it's all you can look that information up, people, because I'm not lying to you. You know, I miss back in the olden days when you had Vice President Quayle in there. He was a senator for Indiana, and by and Hamilton, he was the ninth district congressman here in Indiana. They was honest people. They they would help you out, no matter if you was a Democrat or a Republican. I have sent emails and letters to other presidents. Never did hear back from them. Even President Obama and Bush have never heard back from them. But President Trump in his first term, I did hear back from him. And you remember when he was running for election this second term, Democrats said he did help first time home buyers. Oh, I got on there and I said, that's a big fat lie. I said, I'm a first time home buyer. And I said, Trump helped me out. And oh, those Democrats didn't like it. I said, I'm a Democrat. I know he's a Republican, but he did help me out. Hello, Egyptian lady. You're welcome. Because of the gas prices, you know, I don't like Trump right now because he ain't doing nothing to get the gas prices down. That makes me mad. I used to feel my back when Trump was first time president, gas was about $1.75, $1.80. I could fill my car up for $20. Now at the gas prices, $20 is about $4 or $5 for 5 gallons at $20. I believe people, you young people can figure out, since you're smarter than me, that if gas prices is cheaper, they would fill the cars up. They would take vacations. I don't know how much jet fuel is. More people would fly. But these airplanes, they charge you more because they have to pay for that jet fuel that they use to transport you. And I can't afford to fly. You looking $200 to $500 to fly. I'm not. I don't have the money. And that raccoon showed up tonight about, when did she show up? About 6 o'clock. I got tarp out on my porch to keep the rain from getting on the porch. And a couple kitty cats slept up there. I opened the door. the raccoon took off, and oh, you heard the kitty cats are fussing. And I don't like raccoons. And raccoons usually don't show up until it gets dark. Sometimes they show up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon or lunchtime to come and eat. And I don't like it. But I've always been told, I don't know if it's true, if the raccoon comes out during the daylight hours, he's sick or she's sick. But this young female I got popping in, she gets here early where she can eat some cat food because she knows if she shows up when it's dark, there won't be no cat food. The other raccoons will show up. I don't know if this young female raccoon's got babies or not, but I say she has by looking at her belly. And they've been close to a female raccoon. You know, male raccoons I have, but I went and got the newspapers, went to Walmart, got me another 24 pack of Pepsi, and went to the drugstore. That's one thing I got to do tomorrow. Go out there and get my medicine out of the car. I left it in there in the car. Then went from the drugstore to Papa John's, and my son got the thin crust pizza. You know, I like it better. To me, a thin crust pizza tastes a whole lot better. And I don't like my grass that tall, people. I wish my friend wasn't sick, 'cause he wants his money. I got some recycled stuff he's gonna take and make money on it. He always makes money. And if I had a pickup truck, I would take it to the recycle myself and make the money. Out in my metal shed, I got bags and bags and bags of aluminum cans out there in the shed. But I guess I'm gonna have to load my car down one day, to fill my trunk up, then my back seat up, and the co-pilot seat, and take him to the recycle place. That's one thing I hate, people. Leaving that window open, I get flies, but it's too early to turn the air conditioner. But if it gets hotter in here, I do turn my air conditioner on. And I can't sleep when it's hot. I've always been like that. Either have to have the air conditioner on in the summertime or have my windows open in the wintertime because you couldn't get heat to the upstairs in mom's house. And I always slept with the windows open. And I was on another channel, not YouTube, TikTok, and I'm not going to mention her name. I said, "Don't you live in Indiana? Because if you don't, you got a twin that lives close to me. It looks exactly like you to the T." I think she's in Alabama or South Carolina, but I don't know. But every everybody got a twin. You people on here on YouTube, you got a twin. Does that mean your dad cheated on your mom or your mom cheated on your dad? Everybody got a twin. I got a twin. And I feel sorry for them. But everybody has a twin. And see, today's Tuesday. What do I usually watch on TV on Tuesday? I can't remember. See, yesterday I watched NCIS because usually Monday they got Hudson and Lex. I boycott them because what they done to John Ridden, who is Charlie Hudson on Hudson and Lex, because he had cancer. They fired him. I guess that's Canada for you. I don't know, but other TV shows, if they got sick, they support him. And but Hudson and Lex, I think that's City TV in Canada. They fired him. I'm boycotting them. And I don't watch it on Monday. I might watch a few minutes of it, see if it's a new one, but it's not. And I switch back and go to NCIS because I will not watch it because it's not right. When a person is sick, and the TV people or the movie people sticks with them, that makes them look better. And H2O X5 mob. Man, I wish I could H2O X5 mob. I like to have one of them, but I can't afford it. I try to scoot over in my bed a little bit more. I hate sleeping on the edge. I usually go to sleep in the middle or a little bit to my right. I wake up, I'm on the edge of my bed. I'm watching METV Tunes, and right now, Woody Woodpecker's on there. I used to watch Woody Woodpecker when I was young, and Magoo, and that's some of the cartoons I love to watch. Oh, Woody Woodpecker, you know, you gotta love these cartoons. I want to thank all the nurses for their service. And you people who got the money, think about St. Jude's, Wounded Warriors, the Shriners, and those kids at St. Jude's. They could use your help. I hate watching them St. Jude's when they come on a commercial. Those young kids had cancer. They didn't ask for it. They didn't ask for it. I'm thinking, people, I'm not a doctor of chemistry or anything like that. I'm just going back when I was in biology health class. Our bodies can only take so much chemicals until everything breaks down. Because our water got chemicals in it, our food got chemicals in it. I believe that's what's causing cancer, is all the chemicals. It's killing our bodies out. And that's how come you all make a garden, plant your food, and learn how to can your food. Get you some chickens and you have you some fresh eggs. You know what you feed your chickens. Like watermelon, cantaloupe fruit. You can feed them tomatoes, corn on the cob. You know, you know what they're eating. And by having your own chickens, them eggs taste a whole lot better than what you get in the grocery store. Because they got probably 50 to 1,000 chickens laying eggs. And I believe, just like they do the cows, they give cows and chickens hormones in their food. They give the cows hormones to produce more milk. That's how come the girls that's 10 to 13 years old look like they're 18 to 20 years old. And some of you young kids look like you're older than what you are because of that. And I believe that's the same thing with the eggs when you buy them from the store. They give them hormones to make them produce more eggs. And you don't know how old those eggs are either. Time they pack those eggs and ship them to you, and they're in a grocery store, you know, they've been there a while. But having your own chickens and a chicken coop, you have your fresh eggs, they're better for you. And you can tell the difference, people. But if you live in a city or a town, you have to check the laws of your city and town in the USA about having chickens. Uh, where they get you on the rooster is what they call a noise ordinance. And the rooster always got to crow at 5 o'clock in the morning. That's where they get you on the rooster. You can fix you a hen house on wheels where you can move it, because they kill all the bugs that's in the grass, and they fertilize your grass. You know, get you some chickens. I got to sit up. See. Hello, Jessica. Hello, my number one fan. Thank you for being on here tonight. And I want to give a big shout out in high school and college and military school. Happy graduation for the people of 2026. Happy graduation, you all. It's in high school, college, and in the military college. God bless you all. You deserve it. And I got to give credit where it's due. I couldn't wait till I get out of school. I couldn't wait until I turned 21. And waiting for you 21 is not that big a deal. You're 21, you can go in bars legally, you can do this and that at 21, and you can do a whole lot of stuff. And if you can't afford to go to college, kids, and your parents can't afford to send you to college, maybe you want to be a doctor, or a lawyer, or a nurse, or a helicopter pilot, jet pilot. You can join the military. You get what they call a guarantee. You get it in writing. You can fly those C-130s or the F-35s. You can do that. If you like to fly, you can do that. If you want to be a lawyer, time you get out of law school, back in the military, you can become a JAG officer. And maybe you want to do that. You remember there's a TV show. They show reruns on TV of Jack Harm, Rab, McKenzie, Admiral. I forget what his name is. Segwitten, and or you could be a doctor. Put your time in the military. You can help people. That's it. That's what you want to do. I'm just giving you all young people who can't afford to go to college and you want to go, you can do it. Or they got IT guys in the military and stuff like that. Or if you speak different language, the military would like to have you. Or the CIA or the Secret Service, FBI. They would love to have you. You know, if I had to do it all over again, people, I would study a little bit harder. But I wasn't that good in school. My grade was F, D, and C, C plus, a few A's. And that's how come I want you kids. Help out the kids. It's in your class. It makes F, D's, and C's. Because when I was in school, we had 10 to 15 kids in the class. And a teacher could take your time. But the way the kids are today in school, the way they tell me, there's 20 to 50 kids in a classroom. There's no way one teacher is going to teach 20 to 50 kids in a class. That's my opinion because I've seen it when I was in school. So that's what I would like for you kids to do to help other kids out in your class. And I forgot another thing, the military. Maybe you want to be a preacher. And you could be a military preacher. Or a psychiatrist. Or a pharmacy person. You can do it all in the military. I'm not pushing military because I don't want somebody to come back that I went or the person died, they blame me. But try your best. Never give up on your dreams. Follow your dreams. I know you are smart enough. You're going somewhere. Just follow your dreams. Believe in your dreams. You might be sleeping and it could be a family, a loved one you lost. Or it could be God putting ideas in your mind to go to school or something, or a doctor, a veterinarian. You know, and I know there's some kids wants to go to college and they can't afford to go. I know there's grants and loans you can take out, but you're not going to pay your loans off in 10 years, 20 years, or whatever. I know people have been out of school 30 years and about got them paid off. And, but I'm just giving you all some ideas. And help people out. If you got an old neighbor that can't get out and cut the grass, go cut the grass. Be a good neighbor. Check on check on your neighbors if they old. And if you see their grass ain't cut or they haven't been to the mailbox in about a week, call the police department. Have them do a welfare check. They could have fell down in the house. If you really know your neighbors, be polite, be kind, courteous. And that's what God wants you to do, because God loves everybody, no matter what the color of your skin is or what race you are. Let's stop being racist against everybody. Let's stop being a bully. And it pays to be nice. I know some of you been in jail, you've been in prison. And I saw on one of the local TV stations, I knew this girl. I was in love with her. Tried to get her to go out with me. Well, she's in prison. She's in prison for murder. She ran over her grandkid back in, I think it's 2030. She appealed her conviction. And she loved to drink alcohol. She loved to do drugs. And I don't know how she ran over her grandkid. You know, I blame the parents too. For what I remember, from what I saw on the news, what I read on the court docket, the kid ran out in front of her and she couldn't stop in time. They charged her with murder of her grandkid. But they should have charged the parents too, but not keeping an eye on it. To me, they held 50% of it. Grandmother is 50% and the parents is 50%. By not keeping an eye on your child, letting them run out. You keep an eye on your kids. And the parents did not keep an eye on that child. To me, they should have been charged too, but they didn't get charged. Grandmother did. But the parents is just as responsible as the grandmother. You know, that's my opinion. But, you know, I'm not the judge. God is the judge, the prosecutor, the jury, the lawyer, the police. You know, but to me, the parents is 50% liable for letting their kids sneak out of. I think they was living in a motel, so they're 50% responsible. That's only my opinion. You know, that's my opinion. But she did make a mistake. She, I think she didn't know she ran over her grandkid. You know, she drove off, and that's how come they charged her with murder. She had some other convictions, you know, for drugs and alcohol. That's how come I try to teach you all stay away from drugs and alcohol. It'll mess your life up. I knew the girl. She was a very sweet girl and she lived next door to me. She was a good mother. She didn't do drugs and alcohol back in those days. I guess that was later on. And I used to see her husband. Her husband would come here and visit me, and he tells me stories about his ex-wife, and she's changed. She went from good to bad. I was bad, but now I'm good. And people, stay away from alcohol, stay away from drugs. Wait until you're 25 to 28 years old to start a family. Don't have kids at 12 and 13 years old. Get your education out of the way. You know, I know you might love the boys. They say, oh, you won't get pregnant the first time. That's a lie. There's too many kids that got pregnant only one time. Thank you for the heart. Hello. Oh. Oh, sometimes Aglos don't like what I talk about. That's okay. That's okay. You're right. You know, Walmart does sell those flowers, but they cost a little bit more than what Amazon costs. And I'll probably buy me some next month. I have a few dollars next month, and and one thing they showing rolling across the screen that that black guy, I think his name's Green, who's a congressman. You saw him when Trump gives his State of the Union. He's always gets kicked out. Well, his state, one of the states he's in, he got beat. He got beat by the other Democrat who ran against him. I figure that was going to happen. I look at them and see, yeah, you have to order because they don't carry that midnight blue hearts at Walmart. You figure Walnut Ridge would carry something like that. I don't think Walnut Ridge Nursery carries them. It'd be nice. It would be nice. I looked it up because what else am I going to do? I couldn't cut grass today because it rained. And my backyard got flooded. I don't like it. So far, this is the third week. It rains about every day. I can't even get out in my garden. It's water soaked. I think my radish is about to get flooded away. Too much water. And the farmers, some of them can't get out in the field around here because it's so wet. But they did plant their corn before it got too wet. Some of them planted their soybeans. It's too, well, in the back 40 behind me, I don't think it's long enough to cut straw yet, since I can't get it walk back there because everything's so wet. You act like you're walking on a sponge. You better be nice to her, Egg Loaf, because she's a moderator. If you make her mad, she's going to put you in timeout. You know, she has that power now to put you in timeout and all this if she knows how to do that. And all you have to do, all you have to do is click on the person's name. When you click on the person's name, you scroll down to the timeout. I think it's 5 minutes up to 24 hours. I'm just teaching her how to be, where to find out how to do that. You can't put me in timeout. This is my YouTube channel. And I'm not making any comments. Well, that's okay. You live with your choices. I'll let God take care of you, Egg Loaf. You be a smart aleck, God will take care of you. You know, I got some people, I don't mention their names, is on probation. And I don't tell who the people on here who's on probation. I think tomorrow I'm going to go out there and play with my outside antenna and adjust it a little bit. Every time a good windstorm comes up, it moves it a little bit. And I have to go outside and adjust it. I hate doing that. Because then I have to come back in my picture window and look at my TV. But as long as everybody be good and follow the rules, you won't get time out. No cussing and stuff like that. Yeah, I think you get more rain than I did. I know Charlestown, when it rains, it floods, especially at Highway 3 and 62 when the viaduct used to be. It floods. And down where we used to live, Highway 3, when it rains, it floods. Because I know when I was after 72, the state highway and the city used to keep those drain pipes clean out. They used to clean them out. It's probably so stuck up, but it hasn't been cleaned for years. Or the ditch line. Like your county and state highway department, they used to use their truck that got the bucket on it to clean the ditches out. They don't even do that anymore. That's how come the highway gets that much water on, because they don't clean the ditches out. Or they don't clean the drain pipes out. That's how come water, it floods. It even floods on I-65 people where I live. It floods the highway because they don't clean out those drains. And you got to keep your drains clean. You got to do maintenance. You know, everybody, it's almost 11:30. I didn't catch the weather. That's okay. Ugh. But people, be nice to people. Be polite. You know, let's see, what did I have to eat tonight? Oh, I had pizza and water. Because if I might watch Jimmy Kimmel or the other guy. Sometimes I might watch Gilligan's Island or Alf and, you know, watch those people. just showed a car in the flood somewhere over in Kentucky. I think it was Kentucky. And people, I think it's this weekend or next week, they have around here WHS Crusade for Children. They collect money, the fire departments collect money for Crusade for Children. What money is collected goes for people in Indiana and Kentucky. I think it's for the kids, I believe. And that's one thing I miss Jerry Lewis. He had a thing that he done on a weekend, collecting money to help out Jerry's kids. I don't think they do that anymore. Oh, that's a pretty blue car they showing on TV. My kind of blue. I think that's a Nissan. No, yeah, it's a Nissan. They showing on the news a blue car. It's 11:30, people. Hello, Foxy ladies. I want to say hi to all the Foxy ladies. I can't leave all your Foxy ladies out. Your skinny beanpole, your skinny, your chubby, your fat ones. There's always somebody out there for you. Even the men, you got skinny beanpole, skinny, chubby, fat. You know, there's always somebody for you. And see, I done had some ice cream. I could go in there and get me a White Castle out and put it in the microwave and have me a White Castle. I might do that. No, but man, White Castle's better if you go to the White Castle and get them fresh instead of getting them at the store and put them in the microwave. Jimmy Kimmel talking about Trump. He didn't go to his son's wedding. And being a president's son, if he went, there'd be all kinds of security. And I don't have her blocked. It shows on my cell phone that she's not blocked. She got on there one night and chatted and all this, but she's not blocked. I did not block her. I can't get it through her head that she's not blocked. I did not block her. I subscribed to her, and it shows she's not blocked. If she sees my comments, she's not blocked. Well, they got a house fire here around Henryville on 160. Well, if she sees my comments, she's not blocked. If she was blocked, she couldn't even see my video. It could be on her end. She could have, well, she can't make a comment. I don't know, but if she sees my comments, well, Walmart and Amazon, they sell the seeds, not the plants. Since Walnut Ridge Nursery is close to you, you can see if they got them. They should have them. They got everything else, but I'm not going to make a special trip down there to see if they got them, because from my house to Walnut Ridge is about 20 miles, give or take a little. And but from what I've been told, you buy the seeds in the wintertime, plant them in the wintertime, they come up in the spring. Like the green ones I got, you know, they come up in the spring and they pop up, and when wintertime gets here, I kind of come down and put dry leaves on top of it to keep them. I planted about 100 tulips. Some of them came up, and some of them did. They came up, and now I didn't have none come up this year. So I don't know what happened to my tulips. And I had those, what do you call them, Easter lilies, the yellow flowers. They came up every year. But I didn't have a one pop up this year. Maybe, you know, I put leaves on it in the wintertime, then rake them off. See, I don't have a green thumb like you. Anytime you plant something, it grows. When I plant, well, here, I guess the ground's not that good, but out by the porch in front of my window, I have put potting soil, fertilizer, you know, You know, I even planted a flower they call a hummingbird plant. It's for hummingbirds. It didn't even turn green. It died for some reason. And I don't know why. But I'm going to get some flowers. Those midnight blue hearts, I like them. They look pretty. I probably kill them too, probably. Because the ones I got in my front yard, I moved them where they was around the tree and retransplanted. They grew. Hello, grandson. Hello, Jacob. Well, it rained again today, Jacob. It started raining here about 11:30, 12 o'clock. In that time frame. I'm getting sick of water. Because my grass is getting too tall. And you try to cut it, and that wet, it clogs your lawnmower up. I don't know, but I love flowers. I'm waiting on something. If I think they mail it to my post office box. I think. Yeah, they mail it to my post office box. It's a gift card from what's it, my doctor's office, insurance, where I had a home visit about 3 weeks ago, I think. Yeah, 3 weeks ago. And that nurse that came here to give me a checkup, she's the same age as me. And but my backyard, it is getting. I bet it's 6 inches now. I can put my weed eater. I can get my weed eater, take the string off, and put my saw blade on it, and I can really cut it. I might do that. I might just put my saw blade on my weed eater and cut my backyard. Then it looks like a hayfield. I might do that. That's what I do. I get my saw blade out and cut my backyard. Yeah, I get every time they come once a year. I get some kind of debit card. It might be uh, Subway or Burger King, Papa John's. I forget what this is, but it Kitty Cats. I ain't got. There ain't nobody in here right now. You know, Alexi was in here, but knowing her grandma and one of they're probably sitting in the kitchen window. I got that open. I have to close the window when it starts raining because the wind and the rain comes out of the west and it blows into the window. This window here is on the east side. It don't rain out of the east. It comes and some people said, "You miss me yet?" You miss me? You miss me? I tell you something about Foxy Lady. She beat the crap out of me one night. I tell you why. We watched a movie. It was a Blue Lagoon about Brooke Shields. And I was talking in my sleep to Brooke Shields. If you remember the Blue Lagoon. She knocked the crap out of me, woke me up, said, "Who's Brooks?" I said, "What the movie did we watch tonight on TV, The Blue Lagoon?" And I think she apologized. But there's another movie. She likes scary movies. It was either Texas Chainsaw Massacre or Motel Hell. I think it was Motel Hell. Yeah, it was Motel Hell. Where they took a tractor with an auger on it and buried people up to the neck. They cut the voice box out. And when they got right, he pulled them out, made hamburgers and steaks, and people in the whole town was buying hamburger and all this. I think it was Motel Hell, if I remember right. That night, Foxy Lady could not sleep. She was too scared to go to sleep when she watched that movie. She loves scary movies, but this one was too scary for her. And if I remember, I said, hold me tight." You know, that's how scared she was. She liked scary movies, but Motel Hell scared the daylights out of her. And that coupon to come in the U.S. mail. I'm just telling the truth. You did like scary movies. That night we watched the Blue Lagoon. You beat the crap out of me, and you want to know who Brooks was. And you forgot we watched the movie about Brooke Shields in the Blue Lagoon. Maybe I deserve it. You know, I was dreaming about Brooke Shields. If you all remember the movie Blue Lagoon, they was little kids. They got marooned on the island and all this. Then they had a baby. I guess their grandpa, they got made a boat or something. The baby supposedly ate these poison berries, but it made him go to sleep. So they ate them where they could be with the babies and with the baby they had. I think it was a boy, if I remember, from the Blue Lagoon. So that was a good movie. I guess I can find it on Pluto or one of those channels I can find on. And I want to thank all you that I want to thank all the new subscribers. I want to thank you all who gave me the thumbs up. Happy birthday to anybody who's born on this date. Happy anniversary if you got married on this date. And don't forget about the nurses. Thank them for the service. Okay, bye, Gago. Have a good night. People, I have heard from nurses that thank me. No, I don't see hers. If you see her, that means she ain't blocked. If she sees me, she's not blocked. There's nothing I can do on my cell phone. I would have to get on a computer and go in there and look. But on my cell phone, as far as I know, nobody's blocked. And if she sees my video, that shows she's not blocked. She might have her chat turned off, where she can't make a comment. I don't know, but on my end, if she sees me and sees my comment, she's not blocked. I would say that's on her end. She's either going to have to get TJ to look at it or her kids look at it. 'Cause she probably got something turned off. I know when she first came on here a couple of months ago, I subscribed to her. Her comments were showing up, but they're not showing up anymore, and I didn't do a thing. So I would say that's on her end. You can't call YouTube, you know. And, and since she got a YouTube channel, maybe she can put on there and tell them that I see my dad's comment, but dad don't see my comment. How we fix it? YouTube will tell them. But it's probably on her end. Because I've looked, she's not blocked. Because she's watching my videos, that means she's not blocked. If she was blocked, she couldn't see my videos. Because I checked when she popped in, I checked, it shows she's not blocked. The comments is all turned on. You know, I don't know what the problem is. I'm not that smart. Maybe if I had a laptop, I could do more research. But on my cell phone, that's a lost cause. But it does show me on my cell phone that she's not blocked. And so I don't know what the problem. Hey people, I got a question for you people who's smart. My daughter, she sees my videos, my comments, but she can't leave a comment. Can any of you people here on YouTube know what the problem is, where to go to fix it? I'm on a cell phone. Where do you go to fix it? She can't leave a comment. But she sees me, she sees my comments, and but when she comments, there's no comments. Any of you people here on YouTube, they come back every time. And people, you know what that means? I guess when she types it in, it comes back to my daughter. You know, and I don't know what's her mom talking about. They come back every time. That shows she's not blocked. You know, it might be in her setting. Anybody here that knows about YouTube, she sees my video. She sees my comments when I make it, but when she makes a comment, I don't see it. And her mom just say they come back every time. People, what does that mean? They come back. You know, I don't understand what her mom is talking about. When it comes to computers, people, I don't know nothing about that. Is she on a computer or a cell phone? I bet it's somewhere in the settings, I would think. I don't know. But on the computer, I know where to go. On my cell phone, I can't find anything. Nobody comments is blocked. If you block somebody, they cannot see my video. They don't get any notification. They got to be on her end. But I post a question out there. Any of you people on YouTube, can you tell me why or where you go to fix it? That my daughter, she sees my video, she sees my comments, but she can't make a comment. And her mom say they come back every time. Can you all explain it to me what's going on and where to go fix it? You know, you people watch this later. Leave it in the comments. You know, because I don't know, because I know she sees my videos, she sees my comments, but I do not see her. From the way I understand it, people, she gets notifications, she sees my videos, and get notifications, but when she types in a comment, I don't see them, and her mom says they come back every time. So, any people here on my YouTube channel, where do you go on a computer or the cell phone or both, because I've looked in my studio. I can't find it. But she sees my videos, she sees my comments. Well, nobody can see her comments. It must be something, it could be on her end. Either her brother TJ or her two kids. They're young, they know about computers. Maybe they can look at mom's computers or sister's computers and see. Nobody else sees it. I would say that is on her end. I know you got to update YouTube maybe once a year or something. I don't know. She could have something turned off in her comments. I don't know. She should go back in her, if she's on a computer, I think you go to your YouTube videos and but does she see you? Does she see your comments? You know, if she sees your comments, that shows she's not blocked. Because if she sees my comments and your comments and everybody else's comments, she gets notifications and she's watching my video. She's not blocked. And I can't understand what's going on. And also, people, her mom says she cannot see her daughter's comments. I bet she has something turned off. Because all my comment things is turned on. I would say that's on her end. She might, Dina, check, see if your YouTube needs to be updated. And on the computer, if I remember right, you got to, what they call it, defrag your computer. You know, she might have to go in there and defrag her computer and put everything back in line if she knows how to defrag her computer. Since I ain't got a computer in front of me, I can't tell where she goes. It defrags it. It puts everything back in line. She could have something out of line on her computer. I don't know. But she did back a couple of months ago. She did make some comments. Now there's no comments. So I would say it's probably on her end. I would think. Hey Gina, try to send some hearts. See if you can send some hearts. You know, go in there and defrag your computer. It gets everything on your hard drive back together because it spreads out all over your hard drive. If you remember how to defrag your computer, or you can look it up on your. Hello, R.M. I see you're taking your break. How you doing in Canada? You working hard tonight? I know you work in the ER, probably the ICU or trauma. It's nice to have you on here tonight. Because you need a little break. Because I know where you work at. Lord. It does get, you do get tired working in the ER. Because I bet where you live in Canada and the hospital you work at, I bet that ER is busy. The hospital, it's about 6, 7 miles north of me. The ER, daytime, I guess you call it the first shift, they're busy. But the second and third shift, I don't think they're that busy. I saw something popped up. There it again. Was that smiley faces or tell her, send them again, Gina. I missed it. Yeah, I see the hearts now. I see the smiley faces. That don't make no sense. She can send hearts, smiling faces, but she can't send comments. They come back. I I don't know. So that shows she's not blocked. Maybe she got something in her setting that she got turned off. Maybe Gina asked TJ or your son or daughter if they got confused, which kids are smart. TJ, I would say probably in the stuff. I see the hearts. So they're working. There's something about your comments is not working. So it has to be on your end. Ask TJ or Corey and your daughter. Maybe they know somebody that's on YouTube or they're smart. You either gonna have to update YouTube or you're gonna have to go back and defrag your computer. You should know how to defrag your computer 'cause it lines when you defrag your computer, it lines everything back on your hard drive. You see Betty in here. I made her a moderator. She's ex-wife. I made her a moderator. What was it? Last night? Oh, I slept since then. Yeah, the ex-wife there, RM, she worked in a nursing home when I met her. She was what they call a QMA, kind of like a nurse. Because that nursing home she first worked in, the nurses always ask her stuff. She should have been a nurse, but she went to another nursing home, and they was, if I remember right, they were going to send her to nursing school, if I remember right, I guess. Oh, that been over 30 years ago, so since she's sending hearts and all that, that works. She sees me, she sees the comments. There's something that about her YouTube. She either got no, she you know, I don't know. But I would go into her, I guess you call it the YouTube studio, or in her settings on YouTube. See, does she, does she see your comments? You know, that, hey Gina, do you see your mom's comments? 'Cause you see my comments, you probably see everybody else's comments. You're sending hearts and smiley faces. They're working. There's something in your comments that either you got turned off or something. But I would check in your YouTube studio on your computer, but also try, because you probably haven't done that since you had that computer, is find out how to go in and deflag your computer. Or you can look it up. Well, I ain't got her. She's not blocked. I see the hearts. Like I, oh, I'm gonna have to put this on the charger. I gotta put my other radio on the charger. But but I ain't got her blocked. That's that like I say, I can't find anything on my cell phone. I go, I would go, I go back in my studio, but on my cell phone, I can't do much. I can do more on the computer because I know where to go on my computer. And she sees my comments, she sends hearts, but I don't know, it don't make no sense. I did put the question out. Okay, people, here's another question. You know, when my daughter Gina gets on here, she can send hearts, smiley faces, and all this, and she types in the comment. I don't see them. Her mom says it comes back to her. But when she's on her YouTube channel, my daughter, people see her comments. My question is to you people on here whose computer, YouTube smart, how come I don't see her comments? Can you all that watch this video later, how do we fix it? I don't have her blocked because she sees my comments, she gets notifications. Uh, she sees all the comments on my YouTube channel. It goes to smiley faces. You know, she can send smiley faces, hearts, but when she makes a comment, her mom says the comments come back. So where do I go or where does she go to try to fix it? But when my daughter is on her YouTube channel, that everybody sees her comments. Her mom sees her comments. And where did we go, people? Where did we go? You know, I can't see my daughter comments. I can see her heart, smiling faces. She sees my comments and all her mom's comments on here. And I see the smiley faces and the smiles. But on my daughter, when she types in and sends her comments, her mother says they come back to my daughter. Her mom cannot see her comments when she's on my YouTube channel. If any of your people out there can tell us where do we go to fix it, you know, I don't understand it, people. I'm 71 plus years old, and I'm on a cell phone. So, people, where did we go? How do we fix this problem? So I'm asking you all, where do my daughter go and where do I go? But when she's on her YouTube channel, when she, see, I see her on, I think it's TikTok, and I did put the question out there. There goes a smiley face. People, I can't understand. I don't know where to go. And her mom can't even see it when everybody's on here. They can see, she can see everybody's comments. But when my daughter tries to type in a comment, it comes back to her. So, okay. How about the red hearts? Can she do the red hearts? So people, I put the question on you people. It's on YouTube. You know, so where do my daughter or where do I go and see why it goes some hearts is she sees my comments, she gets notifications, and she watched my video, and but she can't make a comment on my YouTube channel. Her mom says it comes back to her. Her mom can't see it. And is it on my daughter's end or it is on my end? I don't know. I'm asking you all for help. But when my daughter's on her YouTube channel, everybody sees her comments. But when she's on my YouTube channel, that I don't see her comment. It comes back to her. You know, can you all leave it in the comments? And because I know her mom checks my comments out. Oh no, man, you ain't been on here for a while. Man, that's a good name, Nomad. Boy, you ain't got diabetes, do you? Yep, because I think the last time, because nomad to me, people, if you don't know what a nomad is, it was 50, I want to say 57s, made, and nomad was a 50s car. It was a station wagon. It was made by Chevys in the 50s. And they had blackout windows. And I don't know what the idea. It was kind of like a station wagon of the 50s. You all can look Chevy Nomad cars up. You can see what they look like. And yeah, them Nomads, I've been in some Nomads. I've been, I drove a few no Nomad cars. And they did right good. Some of them got windows all the way around, and some Nomads had windows in them, on the sides and the back. But most of the Nomads I've seen around here, they was all blacked out. Look like I don't know, a hearse. You know, I think maybe it was the first station wagon that they had on the market in the 50s. And the left side where the tail light is, you pop that chrome out, take your gas cap off, put your gas in, then you put your cap back on it and close the chrome cover back over it. I think if I remember right, it was on the left side, there in the above the tail light, if I remember right. And on the 56 Chevy, you had to turn it and pull your light down and take the gas cap off and put your gas in. And after you fill it up, you close the gas cap, pull your tail light back up, and turn the knob. That was on the 56. I think the 55 was, I think the left fender, I think. Yeah, they did have on a 57 Nomad. They did have him hid. I wish Chevy would bring the Nomads back out. I wish they would. Make him look like a 57. I like to see him, you know, I've seen a pickup truck. Ford came out with them. You all remember the old Maverick cars. Now they got a Maverick pickup truck. I saw that. That's not a car. It's a pickup truck. I said the Maverick, when I was growing up, was a car. No, she's not in timeout. She, if she can send hearts, no, they won't do it. They need to bring out the 55 exactly with the same tail light. 56, they could do the same thing with 57. They could bring the old cars back, but they'd be, I like it. Like I say, Chevys would never do that. But Ford did come out with a Maverick, but it's a pickup truck. Maverick was never a pickup truck. It was a car, not a pickup truck. I think a few people, if I remember right, they made a Nomad into a pickup truck. Yep, they probably would make it a front wheel drive. No, if you people that design these cars, bring back the Nomad just like it was, rear wheel drive. Don't put a junky engine in it. Make it like a real 57 Nomad. I know the engine will be all computerized, but leave it like a regular 1957 Nomad. I, they probably would. They probably would put it up there so high, the first couple thousand, it'd be up high. But I don't think Chevy will ever come out with a 57 Nomad. If they make it just like a 1957 Nomad, the lights would be different lights, but let it be a 1957 Nomad. I saw a pickup truck. Who makes this pickup truck? I think it was Chevy. They made a Corvette pickup truck. I think that's what I saw. It was a Corvette pickup truck. It was maybe, I want to say $200,000. I forget how much that Ford Maverick pickup truck cost. But people, a Maverick was a car, not a pickup truck. I saw some pickup trucks, 100,000 up to 300,000. I think that Chevy pickup truck that was a Corvette, I think that was 200,000. It had great exhaust on it. I forget what else. I don't know if it was automatic or standard shift. Oh, I wouldn't have a Tesla. I wouldn't have a Tesla because where I live, people in southern Indiana, people in Canada wouldn't have a Tesla because of the winter temperature. If you live here in the United States where it gets cold, when the temperature gets down to single digits, you know what the cold weather does to batteries. What you think the cold temperature would do to a Tesla? Tesla. And I don't know where I saw it. There's a police department. That's where it seems strange. Police cars got all those lights. They got their police radios. They got their computer. How would I don't think the batteries will last that long in a Tesla police car truck. That ain't no way, 'cause those lights, well, they probably LEDs or LCD lights, but I don't understand how. I think there's a police department had a Tesla truck as a police vehicle. Maybe Elon donated to them to try that out. I don't know. But with the lights, the radio, the computer, and I don't know how the battery would hold up in something like that. And I think if there's a way, 'cause that's what I'm thinking, those electric cars, there's bound to be a way to have solar panels on it that during the day it'll charge your battery up during the day. I don't know how they would rig that up. But where I live and the people in Canada, from what I've been told, nobody in Canada has a Tesla. They do, they park it in the garage for the winter time and drive it in the summertime because it gets below zero up in Canada and Alaska. So that, for what I know, a regular car battery with gasoline engine, if it gets down in single digits, it drains the battery. How long? I don't know how that affects the Tesla pickup truck or the car. I just don't understand that. People, you try to say, what I like to have, no man, if Elon would do that, is I like to have Starlink. I like to have Starlink. But I can't come up with $300, a hundred and something a month. You see videos. You know, I don't see videos on Starlink that show you when you're on the internet or do videos to show you what the speed is. You know, but I would like for Elon Musk give me Starlink with unlimited data where I can test it out. I don't need to know how to set it up. I need to demonstrate it to people. I would need a computer, a gaming computer, because I think Elon Musk comes up there or he got his spies. That you got to demonstrate it. You know, all the things I see about Starlink, they show you how to set it up and all this. But they don't show videos on how it does. I think Elon Musk would want somebody to do videos on it. I'd be glad to if he would give me the Starlink and unlimited data, because my TV, uh, where you set it up for Wi-Fi. But I wish Elon Musk would do that, but he won't do that. you know, but it would be nice if Elon Musk would do it. I have not seen any YouTube videos or TikTok videos of people like doing live videos demonstrated you know, show the speed of it, you know, he won't do it because I'm nobody. You know, I'm nobody. I'm on no income. To me, if I would got a computer and Starlink with Wi-Fi and all this, I could demonstrate it, and I would have probably have to get me another camera where I can show the screen and show her how it works, the speed of it, uploads and downloads, you know. But I don't think Elon Musk would do something like that. Hey, people, you people out there that knows Elon Musk, I would love to have Starlink. I would need a computer, a gaming computer, and demonstrate it on how it works. Because every video I've seen on Starlink, they show you how to set it up. But, you know, it's easy to set up. Go ahead, Nomad. Now, I wish I had a computer. You know, I can do more on a computer and I can this stupid iPhone. That's a, you know, you know, Elon Musk came out with a Tesla cell phone. Okay, I got a question. What cell towers does Tesla cell phone use? Or is it AT&T, Cricket, Verizon? You know, you know, I would like to a Tesla cell phone. Elon Musk came out with a Tesla cell phone. I guess maybe that work off of a satellite, I guess, instead of cell. And people, I'm getting fed up with Spectrum internet. I got a person who's on here, not on here tonight. She has Spectrum. I forget what state she's in. Her internet bill is $40 a month. The internet here for Spectrum, they just raised it again. It's $90 a month. That's the second pay they got this year. It was 70, then they raised it to 80, and in May they raised it to 90. But where this one lady lives, she only pays $40 a month. But our internet here where I live in Indiana, it comes out of Ohio, which is the East Coast. Every time the internet goes out, it's always the East Coast. You know, that'd be nice if Elon Musk would do something like that. You know, Starlink with the Wi-Fi, what, and a computer, a gaming laptop, and where I can show people, you know, have another camera set up that looks at the screen and show you how fast it is and what the upload and download is. You know, I like to do that, and I like to have a Tesla cell phone. You know, Elon Musk. You know, I got enough on my smart TV. I got Pluto and a bunch of others. And since I got an outside antenna, I pick up a bunch of other stations that's over the air. With uh, let's see if I have SITV. What the heck is a SITV? I'll probably have to go out and move my antenna because I'm not pick. Remember, people, no cuss words or anything like that. I'm not picking it up tonight. I guess the wind must blew my TV antenna. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go outside and move my antenna tomorrow. I would say. Well, some people I would say yes. I can pick up Law and Order, but it's searching. Oh, that's the wrong way. Acorn TV. Well, that's what I'm gonna have to do. Go out. I'll do it tomorrow and see which way my antenna is. But every time the wind blows, it blows my antenna a little bit. So people, I've been on over 2 hours, and I want to thank you all. And I'll catch you all later. I love you all. Thank you, Foxy, all your Foxy ladies. And I catch you all later. Good night. God